temperature? Check. Martini shakers? Check. Cue announcer? And go announcer.
From the cockpit, it's the Tom Leykis Show.
You ever been in a cockpit before?
And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning in to the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. It's a different kind of a radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing wacko or a convicted felon. No. I am your host. Write down our toll-free telephone number. You're going to need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. The Tom Leykis Show, brought to you in part by TBS. The Real Gilligan's Island, an all-new reality series, Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 8, 7 Central on TBS. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. And a question I am always asked, always, and that is from callers, that is from emails, people who meet me on the street, is this: is marriage dead? Is it dead? And more specifically, since our audience is primarily men, men come up to me all the time and say, she's pressuring me to get married. Should I do it? That call comes in here all the time. Should I do it? And I must be honest with you, I think the answer for most men is no. No, you shouldn't do it. Because there's very few benefits for men to get married. You need to have sex? Guess what? Plenty of chicks will have sex with you. Do you need a companion? There are women who will live with you. They used to say, you know, why buy the cow when you can rent it? Is that what they used to say? Why buy the cow when you can rent it? Well, but when you get the milk for free. Well, you could rent the cow. You just rent the cow. The point is, there are plenty of cows who'll hop right into bed with you. You don't have to worry about marrying them. You don't have to buy the cow. Forget about buying the cow. Besides, most American women turn out to be cows anyway after you marry them. Let's face it. They chunk up, they cut their hair short, and they tell you, hey, if you don't like it, tough. I'll take half of everything you have. And the law backs it up. Every day, women go into court, big, fat, short-haired broads who, you know, they've passed their expiration date, they've passed their sell-by date. They walk right into the courtroom and they take half of what guys have worked their whole lives to earn. What's in it for guys? Very little. If you get married and it doesn't work out, she gets the kids, she gets all that money, she gets, like an annuity, she gets payments, regular payments. For what? I'm not exactly sure, because for the last 35 years, all we've heard is that women are independent. Women don't need men. Women can do it alone. Women can do it all. The magazine articles have told us this. And yet, when it comes to the end of a marriage, it's amazing how dependent women really are. They need money, lots of money. They need us to pay them every month. For what exactly? Well, we once had sex with them. We have to pay. Doesn't make any sense. I've also talked to guys who have inadvertently impregnated somebody, and they say, you know what? Since I impregnated her anyway, since I have to pay her child support anyway, I might as well get married. That's not true either. Because you know what? Let's say you knock up some chick you met at a one-night stand, or you knocked up some booty call or something. Sure, you have to pay her child support. But do you have to pay her vagina money? No, you don't. If you marry her, you not only have to pay child support if the marriage doesn't work out, you also have to pay vagina money. Why do that? I had a guy call me yesterday. He has 2 kids. He's been living with a woman for 8 years, and he's thinking about getting married. Why would he want to do that? He's got the perfect scenario right now. She has no leverage at all. He is the father of her kids. They live in the same house. He's not going to get anything by marrying her that he doesn't already have. Sex, companionship, his kids are near him. Why get married? Why risk the possibility that you're going to have to pay money to this broad once things don't work out? You're going to pay the child support whether you marry her or not. Why would you want to run the risk of paying more? Why would you want to run the risk of having to split up your house, split up your furniture, split up your silverware? Right now, when you are single and living with your kids and the mother of your kids, there's no benefit to getting married, and I say don't do it. And by the way, folks, forget about love and romance. This stuff is meaningless. When it gets down to the state where you live, getting married, this is how your state looks at it. And let me take California, for example, where I happen to live. When you get married, first of all, you go down to the courthouse and you apply for something called a marriage license. As if you need a license to have sex. That's such an antiquated notion now. Remember they used to make you go in and get a blood test? We're going to see if you've got the clap. Everybody's had the clap now. Does anybody even get a blood test before they get married anymore? I don't think so. Not in California, we don't. I can tell you from experience. So you get a license. Then you get some judge or some minister or somebody to put a rubber stamp on this thing. But if you've ever gotten married, God knows I know this. If you've ever gotten married, they don't hand you that marriage certificate right away. They take that marriage certificate here in California and they send it to Sacramento, where it goes to the desk of the Secretary of State. That, by the way, is exactly where all corporate paperwork goes. When you form a corporation, it goes to the Secretary of State's office for approval. And the Secretary of State places the raised seal of the state of California on that marriage certificate. That's how you know it's official. It is just like forming a corporation. It is treated the same way. There's no romance involved at the state capitol. They take your marriage certificate, put a raised seal on it, and you've now formed a corporation with some chick who's a hot piece of ass. And now she owns 50% of the corporation, and so do you. 50%. Yesterday, you owned 100% of your corporation, right? You owned your house. You owned the stuff in your house. You owned everything you owned. Your car was yours. There was no doubt who owned the knives and forks. You did. Now, suddenly, you formed a corporation. And now that she wants to have your kids, she's not planning on working a full-time schedule. So ultimately, she's home raising, quote-unquote, your kids. While you continue to go out to work and slave and take risks, she's sitting home with Barney and the Teletubbies and your children. And ultimately, if things don't work out, you will take half of everything you own, plus a check every month, and you're going to mail it to her. Does that sound like a good deal for a man? It's not. Now you're going to say to me, Tom, you've been married. Why shouldn't I get married? The reason I know why you shouldn't get married is because I've done it. Done it more than once. And you know what? There was nothing in it for me. Even though I didn't end up in any of these situations having to pay years and years of vagina money, because I thought ahead, it still ended up costing me money. Money for attorneys, money for settlement, money for resettlement, money to put somebody's furniture on a truck and send it to Seattle, money for, I mean, really, you spend a lot of money on this. Attorneys made a lot of money. Plus, I paid their attorneys to get, I mean, come on. What's the point? What's in it for a man to get married?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
I think you're a sick bastard.
Yes, I am, dear. But that's why they give me the big bucks.
It's the Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show from Los Angeles at 1-800-5800-TOM. Michelle on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Michelle.
I just want to completely tell you how much I disagree with everything that you're saying.
All right, go for it.
Okay. Well, you talk about how it's so stupid for men to get married because they get nothing out of it, and then when it doesn't work out, we're just going to take their vagina money.
Well, you can, and most do.
Well, I would think that's a very small percentage because I work. My husband didn't have much before I met him, and nor did I. But together we've created a home and a family, and I earned 50% of everything. So why shouldn't I take 50% of everything if our marriage didn't work out?
Well, first of all, most women do not earn 50% in the home. In fact, in most marriages in this country, women kind of dial it down a few notches as far as their careers are concerned. They work less hours. They take time off to have a kid. They take sabbaticals. They work part-time, flex time. They try to do more work at home.
And I don't do
They
any
get
of those.
paid less. Right, but again, you're taking this personally. I'm talking about, you know, we are, this is, you know what, though? This is broadcasting. We're broadcasting to millions of broads out there. And we're not narrowcasting here. You know what I'm talking about? The fact is that even if you're an exception to the rule, so what? The rule stands.
And I just don't agree with you. I listen to you every day.
So you think most women make half the money in the household